I remember AD Austin Davidson, he was over there talking. I remember he's looking at us, and he was talking, and he was getting ready for this play, and he buckled his chin strap and stuff. And there was, like, this real good wide receiver that just stiff-armed him, like, straight into the ground. That had to be the funniest thing that's probably happened.
Let's get him one more about this. If you could dress up as anybody and not be judged this Halloween, who would you dress up as? It can be a teammate, it could be a coach, it could be a character from a TV show or movie.
It'd be Frozone from The Incredibles.
Okay, that's a good one. Welcome back to Bearcat Sports Chat. We're happy now to be joined by Austin Davidson, junior wide receiver / defensive back. So we're glad you're able to join us today, Austin.
Appreciate you guys having me on here.
So, Austin, as a returner, you've taken a kickoff and a punt all the way back for 6 this year. I believe, if I'm right, that's right. One was that really, really a big game changer against Wise Central after they cut it to a 7-point game. What goes through your mind on the return, and how have you gotten better through the years at returning? It's not something you really get a whole lot of reps at. Actually,
this is my first year returning kicks and punts. And, first off, what goes through my head is catching the kick or punt. That's humiliating if you drop it. So, definitely want to secure the catch. And then I'm just looking for blockers downfield, finding grass, and bursting for the hole.
I'll tell you, this is a team, too. Coach Sidner was talking about effort and really special teams. Right. Coach Christ always drives it home each week to us, and we're always bragging about the special teams because both defensively and offensively it seems like the return game is strong. How much of it is effort, and what have you seen in this unit that's different from maybe past years?
I think special teams especially is just 100% effort, and, it comes with the blocking. And I can't return a kick without the blocks, and our blocking schemes are phenomenal. Coaches do a great job of preparing us throughout the week, and it's easy out there when you got blocks.
That's true.
So you're wide out in this system, 8 receptions for 84 yards. We'll break that down to about 10 yards of reception for you. That's a first down. How fun is it to be a wide receiver in this system with Jamie and the other guys and the running backs to take the load off?
With a quarterback like Jamie that can spread it around, it's a lot of fun to be able to run routes and expect the ball. A lot of systems in football, as a receiver, you're just more blocking in high school. But, I can always expect the ball to come to me, and it's a lot of fun.
Virginia. Bearcat Radio is brought to you by State Line Motors. Visit State Line Motors on Euclid Avenue in Bristol.
Welcome back to Bearcat Halftime Report. I'm Dylan Hutton along with Mark Harr, and wow, what a first half of football we just got to see. 13-0, Bearcats leading the undefeated Marion Scarlet Hurricanes. A lot to talk about even in that first quarter, scoreless first quarter, but both teams went for it on fourth down. Both teams failed on 4th and short in that first quarter. Bobby Medley with the interception in the first half off a tip ball. That was big early in the game as Marion was getting it out past the 50 to get the turnover. And to go to the score recap, second quarter underway, 8:47 to go. Jamie Lathrop to Lane Carroll, 38-yarder for 6 points, right over the shoulder to him. It was perfect. If you wanted to go back and see the Willie Mays catch right over the shoulder of the Say Hey Kid, that looked just like it there with Carroll.
Nothing but a dime, though. Gosh.
Right on the money, and it was 6-0 with the extra point missed. As then with 2 minutes 26 seconds left, Lathrop to Carroll again, connected once again for the second time in the ballgame, 58 yards out, and made it 13-0 Cats, as Carroll went ahead and booted the extra point through as well, and that's where we sit at 13-0. So not a lot going on as far as scoring in this ball game, but as, of course, we are with Bearcat Radio, so we're plumb happy that it's happening for the orange and black here in this late October edition of Bearcat football. So that's the first half summary. Let's take a look at some of the stats from that first half of action. Virginia High 2 for 5 on third down, but get this, 2 for 5 with 2 touchdowns on third down. Both times ended up in the end zone. They're 0 for 1 on fourth. Had the ball for 10 minutes and 2 seconds. 137 total yards of offense for Virginia High. Didn't look like we were going to finish the half with that back in the first quarter. The Cats only 7 total yards of offense in the first quarter. So they had 130 yards by themselves in that second quarter of action. No turnovers and 2 sacks for the Bearcats. For Marion, third down conversions, just 1 for 5. They're 0 for 2 on fourth. They've had the ball for almost 14 full minutes, 13 minutes, 58 seconds, 73 yards total, and they had 59 of those in that first quarter, and the majority of them with Kelby Ford. Turnovers, they had the one interception. Again, Bobby Medley coming through with a pick, and some of the key players for the Cats in that first half, Jamie Lathrop, 7 for 11 passing, 151 total yards and 2 touchdowns. Of course, that's talking about some of the penalties as well. So Lathrop coming through early and often for the Cats. He has missed several, and he could definitely be looking a little bit wider margin, but the Cats have been able to piece it together regardless.
And you know, the big thing for this Virginia High offense so far, I mean, you said 7 yards. Well, then the difference was just about 2 or 3 big plays for the Bearcat offense to really blow the lid. Like I mentioned all game long, Dylan, being able to beat those corners on the outside. They're selling all out on the run play. Why not go ahead and bust it over the middle, over with a quick slant, post pattern, and just find them over the middle. Get a big gain out of it.
Yeah, that's what they've been able to do so far tonight. Some huge plays through the air. Lane Carroll, 2 receptions on the night and 2 touchdowns to go with that. So definitely a lot of offense coming from the quarterback to Lane Carroll this afternoon. And if you're going to have a matchup, that's the kind of matchup you want to have. Some of the wide receivers in this system very good, as this is a Cat offense that's run the ball on the season 65% of the time. They haven't done that tonight. They haven't tried to run it too much. Undefeated leading at the half. So there's another note there. So they'll continue that going into this one, hopefully tonight, knock on wood, as Mark signaling for me to do there. And we'll see if the Cats can. They haven't been able to establish the run. That was one of the keys to the game. And that's kind of worrisome going into the second half that Rose hasn't been able to get as loose as we thought he might have been able to. But both defenses, let's talk about these 2 defensive lines, especially up the middle.
And you know, you talked about not being able to run the football. That's credit to Marion's defensive front. Also, they started picking up on it, blitzing about 6 or 7 at a time now, including the linebacker position, which leaves the middle of the field wide open, like I mentioned. But that also allows them to limit Aaron Rose, to limit Jamie Lathrop's ability to do quarterback draw situations, where he did have that one that was a huge pickup, but just a late holding call there pulled us back and negated that one. But Virginia High's defensive front, I don't think I've seen them play this mad all year long. It's just everywhere somebody's making a play. It's the magic of senior night, Dylan. That's exactly what it's boiled down to tonight.
Big hits here and there, too, peppered throughout.
Yeah, and you mentioned Aaron Rose not running the football, but by gosh, he's known on the defensive side of the football.
Adjustments for each team at half. What's going on in that Marion locker room right now?
Limiting the big plays. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Marion limiting the blitzing patterns to be able to pick up some more over the top, over the middle, to limit the big plays on the offensive side for Virginia High. For Virginia High, just keep what you're doing on the defensive side of the ball up. Don't get ate up in the RP, the run option side of it, and realize that they run that screen a lot. They had a couple big plays that Marion dropped that we just got lucky on over the middle, where it's just we got lucky, literally. The guy had a mile in front of him to run, just dropped it a couple times, and that's just from not being able to have the opportunity to practice that a lot and get in-game reps with that.
So those are some of the adjustments that each team is probably talking about there in the locker room. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the Southwest District scoreboard and also talk about the next game up in Sports Chat, and also we'll get into our college football preview for tomorrow's action around the country. We'll be right back from the Bearcat halftime report here on Bearcat Radio. Cats up 13-0 on the Marion Scarlet Hurricanes.
You're listening to Virginia High Bearcat football on Spreaker Radio. Follow Bearcat Radio on Twitter with the handle @VHS Bearcat Radio and on Facebook by searching Bearcat Radio for the upcoming broadcast schedule and shows on the flagship stream of Virginia High School Athletics.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Virginia High Bearcat football on Spreaker Radio.
Welcome back to the Bearcat halftime report. Dylan Hutton with Mark. Our Cats leading 13-0 over the Marion Scarlet Hurricanes. And let's go ahead and now go to the Southwest District scoreboard. Some scores around the district tonight. Grundy leading Tazewell at the half, 21-6. Richlands up on Lebanon, 45-0 over the Pioneers. And Graham leading Fort Chiswell by 20, 27-7 at halftime. Some other scores around the area. Union and Abington, a big marquee game in the district, or in the region, that is. Union leading Abington 14-7 at the half, and another game going on in 1A, a big game going on down in Glade Spring. Chilhowie leading Patrick Henry 14-7 at the half. Some good games going on here this late week in the season. Again, we're getting close to playoff time. Everybody's trying to maneuver into position, and so far the Cats playing well. Hopefully able to hold out. I'm sure Coach Chris down there telling them to finish.
Yeah, that's exactly what you got to do here. You get the ball here at the second half, get a quick score, or heck, a long score, and go up 20-0 and see what you can come up with later on in the game.
A little reminder that next week we'll have Bearcat Sports Chat on Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m. from Buffalo Wild Wings at Exit 5 in Bristol. So make sure you come on out for Bearcat Sports Chat. We have a lot of fun for the show out there. And come out and you can ask a couple questions, have a chance to win a $10 gift certificate to Buffalo Wild Wings. And then, of course, Friday night, Cats will travel to Richlands for the final regular season game of the year. We'll be doing that one, so make sure you tune in at 6:30 from Richlands. But that's next week's schedule for us here on Bearcat Radio. Again, another game coming up, volleyball. We won't be doing it on the radio, but volleyball will be hosting on Monday the first round of the region. So make sure you come on out to that one. But now it's time to move into Mark's favorite part of the show, the college football preview show, where we try our best to pick out some of these.
Well, Mark's
games.
2-0 the last 2 weeks, Dylan. Just go see
That's true. Mark has a little bit of advantage over the past 2 weeks. He's actually tried to do these. I'm trying to get my right now at the first quarter of that Florida State-Boston College game. Boston College leading 7-0, 7:55 to go in the first quarter. So I'm right on that one so far. I picked that one.
Looks like Jimbo might be heading to the house here pretty quick in Florida.
So tomorrow's games, Miami, number 8 in the country, traveling to North Carolina. They're a 20-point favorite, noon kick.
I'm taking Miami with the points there, Dylan.
Let me have Mark Rick, too. I'm going to take Mark. Miami all the way across the board. Brady comes through. Number 11, Oklahoma State at number 22, West Virginia. My biggest question is why in the heck is this game being played at noon? This should be played at 8 o'clock.
Game. Yeah, well, because you got Tennessee, Kentucky at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
they're at 3:30. That's okay.
Yeah,
so I think you got the Mike Gundy mullet rocking another one there.
I'm going West Virginia. I try to hang with the Mountaineers as much as I can. Dana Holgerson.
Tomorrow's Dana Holgerson's night that he has a heart attack on the field from drinking too many Red Bulls, but that's okay.
I'm going with the Will Greer attack. West Virginia. Brady says so. 2-1 there.
Will Greer's on steroids again.
Probably, but that's not for us to figure out. Here's a quirky little game. Louisville and Wake Forest. Louisville's been struggling recently. Only a 3-point favorite on the road at Wake.
I'm going Wake Forest. I love Lamar Jackson and what he's able to do, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it tomorrow. I don't know what it is. Bobby P's give up.
I'm going to go with Louisville. I think this week they're going to bounce back. I don't think Wake has the gun power.
Wake Forest is a basketball team.
Their basketball school is Brady's reason.
Brady says Wake's a basketball. I don't think Wake Forest has been a basketball since like 08. But Tim Duncan, yeah, so he's really rewinding there for us. Ole Miss hosting Arkansas, 3.5-point favorite in Oxford. Ole Miss is.
Give it Shea. He's incredible.
He's out for the season.
Oh, when did that happen?
Last week.
Give me Arkansas.
Arkansas struggled this year. I'm going to go with Ole Miss, not because I went there for a couple
years. Homer.
But, yeah, I think Ole Miss will get it done. They played decent against LSU for the first half. But
they're going to go into so many overtimes that they're going to make a new rule for college. I'm kidding. I'm going to go with Arkansas.
Arkansas for Brady. Yeah, Brett Belima with a win.
He's liable to get fired from here if he goes to picking against Ole Miss too much.
Oh, Ole Miss
for me. Number 3, Georgia against Florida. The